Assalamu alaikum.
Baloch Hassan.
Right. That. Can you introduce yourself to us?
Assalamu alaikum, sir. My name is Asim Hussain. I belong to Quetta, and I did my O levels from Beacon House school system. Then, after doing FSc, I secured a seat in Bachelor's of Civil Engineering. Sir, I was always interested in acquiring a diversified knowledge, so I also did a Master's of International Relations, and currently I'm enrolled in MPhil of International Relations, pursuing my research on CPEC and the transforming interstate dynamics of South Asia. I also work for the British Council Pakistan, sir, and whenever I get free time, I visit an orphanage which is near to my home, sir.
That's good. Can you give us a brief profile of your district?
Sir, I belong to the Quetta district of the province Balochistan. Quetta is the regional capital of Balochistan. It is situated in the northwestern side of Balochistan, and Quetta is around 3,047 kilometers square kilometers. It is surrounded by mountains. It is basically a valley. It is surrounded by mountains all around. The mountains include Takatu mountain ranges, Zarhun mountain, Kohimurdar, and Chiltan mountains. Sir, Quetta is also known as the fruit garden of Pakistan, and Quetta is usually a cold place. It has a dry, semi-arid weather, and
very well established cantonment.
Sir.
Right. What is meant by BRI?
It is, sir, Belt and Road Initiative. It is a plan and initiative initiated by China, the current contemporary president Xi Jinping. The BRI intends to develop global trade on the patterns of the ancient Silk Route. It is also dubbed as the 21st century Silk Route. The milestone project of BRI.
What does exactly BRI? What does it mean?
Sir, it is Belt and Road Initiative.
So, what does that mean?
Sir,
what is the concept?
Sir, belt means oceans and roads are the road connectivity. It actually connects oceans and roads in order to connect the global important trade routes, which include the Indian Ocean.
Yeah. Tell us about the progress of CPEC in Balochistan.
So CPEC's progress in Balochistan has been slow, like in other parts of Pakistan, although we have seen various motorways and roads being constructed. Almost 4 roads have been constructed, and other roads are in process, which include Quetta Zob motorway, Avaran Hoshab motorway, and roads in Gwadar have been made, which include the Express Bay, Gwadar Express. 300-bed hospital is being constructed in Gwadar. An international port has been in process under construction in Gwadar. Desalination plant and procedure of bringing and distribution of fresh water to Gwadar from the Shadikot Dam is also under construction, sir.
Then why do we hear voices showing concern about the advantages you see to the Baloch people? The CPEC is not giving the advantages which it was supposed to the people of Balochistan.
Sir, actually, there is no considerable development on ground as yet. The Baloch people, who were already very aggrieved of least socio-economic development among the other provinces of Pakistan, they are actually frightened of being considered as a minority in the future. They are considered as the Balochistan province again being hijacked by another East India company, so-called East India company dubbed as China. And they are actually not seeing any proper development on ground. It is a long procedure, sir. We are hoping that the second phase of CPEC, which is in the current phase, will develop and will deliver proper infrastructural development to the people of Balochistan, sir.
Right. Why Baloch nationalists get angry time and again and take up arms against the state?
Sir, in my humble opinion, there are 2 aspects to this issue. The first aspect I would regard as the external involvements. Sir, the main reason is the porous border that we share with Afghanistan. Then the involvement of proxy elements then the involvement of RAW, NDS, and the CIA nexus, and all this coupled with the exploitative role of the Baloch leaders and the Baloch feudal lords. So they exploit the masses, they exploit the vulnerable subjects and aspects of the society, and then looking towards the less socioeconomic development and poverty, unemployment, people obviously are inclined then towards picking arms.
Welcome to CSPs Academy for CSS PMS preparation. CSS PMS तहरीरी इम्तिहान के तमाम मज़ामीन की ऑनलाइन और ऑन कैंपस तैयारी के साथ साथ सब्जेक्ट सिलेक्शन, असाइनमेंट चेकिंग, क्लास टेस्ट, मॉक एग्जाम, इंडिविजुअल टीचर डिस्कशन और फीडबैक सेशन का इनकाद किया जाएगा। इसके अलावा FPSC की तजवीज़ करदा बुक्स से बने मयारी नोट्स और CSPs पब्लिशर की बेहतरीन बुक्स मुहैया की जाएंगी। रजिस्टर नाउ एट 0316 570 1593.
Where is International Court of Justice based?
Sir, it is based in Hague.
What sort of cases are adjudicated there?
Sir, International Court of Justice adjudicates cases between states, only states as the real subjects of international law, and it is based upon consensual based cases. No state can sue another state unless they both have their consent on it.
The recorded case was also brought
Sir.
before it. What was the final outcome of the case there?
Sir, in the recorded case, Pakistan was the case was against Pakistan. The judgment of case was against Pakistan. Pakistan had to pay $10 billion to the Canadian company, which was then settled out of the court, and the reparation amount was decreased to $6 billion, sir.
Now, when the work there is going to start, has it started or it will take some time
So
for the work to start there?
Recently, sir, an agreement has been signed between the government of Balochistan and the Barrick Gold Company of Canada, and the work will start and commence soon.
Is Balochistan government satisfied now about the verdict of that court?
Sir, currently it seems satisfied.
What are red warrants and how are they executed?
Sorry, sir, I'm afraid I don't know the answer to this question.
And international law, that's why I asked you this question.
Sir.
And what is extradition and how it takes place?
Sir, extradition is the repatriation of state punitives and state criminals, actually, which are residing in exile in some other state. The mother country requests the recipient country to repatriate its criminals.
Through what means? What means are adopted by that state?
Sir,
There are certain means which are adopted to get such people back to the country. What is the modus operandi?
Sir, as far as I know, the states engage in bilateral dialogues, and then they request for their punitive, and then Interpol gets involved.
There has to be an extradition treaty between the two countries, and then you employ the services of Interpol,
Sir.
And then through red warrants are sent to the Interpol by the concerned country, and then through those warrants, then that person is arrested and sent back to the country.
Thank you, sir. I stand enlightened.
Greta Thunberg. Why do you like her? What did she do?
Sir, Greta Thunberg, being a child, her age now is 20 years. She is a child. She speaks very blatantly in front of the world leaders. She challenges their policies with regards to the aggressive global greenhouse gas emissions and their carbon footprints. She is basically an environmental activist.
And she had done a lot in this regard.
She has done
throughout the world. You see, mobilize people in the schools, getting around the students behind her.
Sir.
So all those things are there for. You say you are soft-hearted. What do you mean by soft-hearted?
Sir, I'm actually very kind-hearted towards things that are usually considered to be emotional.
No, you say it is your weakness. Soft-hearted. Soft-hearted is a good thing. It should be your good attribute. If you are humane, and what's so bad about it?
So sometimes it leads to being carried away with people, being misused and by people. So I consider being very soft-hearted as a weakness.
Oh, thank you.
Asim Hussain, you have done BSc Engineering and Masters in International Relations. Can you tell us how this change occurred in your life?
Madam, actually, after doing FSC, owing to the limited exposure and limited vision, it is the aim of every student to acquire either an engineering degree or become a doctor. I worked hard to secure a civil engineering degree. As I grew older and maturer, I found the social sciences interesting. I kept on reading them, all the subjects and all. And in order to consolidate my knowledge and practicalize it, I kept on giving exams as well. So I ended up doing the Masters of International Relations, and currently I am pursuing my MPhil in International Relations.
And one of your main choices includes Foreign Service of Pakistan.
Right.
What is the difference between a High Commissioner and Ambassador?
Madam, if I may take a guess, this is something to do with the countries which are included in the Commonwealth and the countries that are not included in the Commonwealth.
And would you have any idea about the structure of an embassy?
I'm afraid, madam, I don't know it.
You have spoken of the problems of Balochistan. Could you tell us how to deal with this BFA?
Madam, in my humble opinion, I'll divide this solutions into two broader categories. Firstly, would be dealing with the external issues. First of all, closing our border with Afghanistan, which is a porous border. We need to close our border with Afghanistan. Then involving the Afghan government, the incumbent regime, in dialogues with us, and making bilateral efforts in border management, in intelligence sharing with Afghanistan, India, as well as Iran. And after dealing with the external aspects, we need to develop a very inclusive policy inside Pakistan. We need to implement the national security policy of Pakistan. We need to make use of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization's RATS mechanism. We need to actually then emphasize on political and amicable means to solution, means to peace, rather than using force with the Balochi people. Inclusivity in terms of cultural exchange between provinces, calling and encouraging the Baloch students to go to other cities and acquire education, inculcating socio-political and economic and infrastructural development in Balochistan would be another solution to it, madam.
Join CSPs, where we believe that your dreams are our mission. So let us be your partners in this transformative journey as we equip you with knowledge, confidence, and resilience required to emerge as CSS toppers. Contact us on our given WhatsApp number 0316-570-1593 or visit our website www.csps.com.pk.
Thank you so much. Now, talking about closing borders with Afghanistan, what is Afghan position on Durand Line? And do you think it is in conformity with international law?
Madam, the Afghani regimes, successive regimes, have not been very tilted towards abiding with the Durand Line. They said that this was an agreement between the Mortimer Durand and the then Emir of Afghanistan and after the independence of Pakistan. This agreement is not valid anymore. It is null and void, and they don't accept the Durand Line as an international border. although this is not in conformity with the laws of international relations and international law, as the two states fulfill all the elements of statehood, and there the border is actually a border. Even maps from the CIA accept the Duran line as a border between two independent sovereign states.
So CIA is an authority on borders?
Not really, but they've been involved in the Afghanistan and Pakistan region, so their stance is considered to be valid somehow.
And what is your understanding of Kashmir issue and how it can be resolved?
Madam, Kashmir issue being a dispute between two sovereign international states, two arch rivals and two nuclear powers of the South Asian region, which is the most dangerous region in the world, given the arch rivalry between Pakistan and India. Kashmir issue needs to be settled immediately, and solutions to it based around specifically dealing the Kashmir issue under the resolutions of United Nations, plebiscites, and giving the Kashmiri people the right to choose as to what nation they want to be with. Either they want to be independent, either they want to join Pakistan or India. Although their sentiments, the popular sentiment is that they want to join Pakistan, and then slowly demilitarizing the Kashmir regions based upon the Musharraf's agenda, and obviously finding peaceful solutions with the consent of Kashmiri people.
And not India?
Not India. India is currently illegally occupying the Kashmir with the use of force, which is not legitimate.
Thank you very much. आपके लिए.
Asim, why do you want to join civil service of Pakistan?
Sir, joining civil services of Pakistan would allow me to make use of the diverse knowledge I have. It will obviously give me a very broad and a very large horizontal expansion to actually acquire experience in whatever I've learned. It allows for a vertical mobility, and while being a civil servant, I'll be able to make a very good use of my knowledge that I've learned from being a civil engineer as well as a student of social science. And while being in the status and a position of policy making, I'll be able to work good for both the fields that I've studied.
You've opted for police service of Pakistan as your number 2 choice.
Sir.
So, what is Police Order 2002 and why it is not being implemented?
I'm afraid, sir, I don't know the answer to this.
Okay. You have studied international law. Would you like to explain what is jus ad bellum?
I'm afraid, sir, it skipped my mind.
Okay. What would be your comments about Ukraine-Russia war? And what is the way to resolve it?
Sir, the Ukraine-Russia war actually is a historical conflict between these two nations. The current conflict revolves around Ukraine's affinity towards West, Ukraine's affinity towards joining the NATO, which actually creates a security dilemma for Russia as being a neighbor of Ukraine, and it considers Ukraine as, if Ukraine joins NATO, it will become a buffer state of the West, right on the border of Russia. So Russia is actually taking a preemptive action in attacking Ukraine, and as Meir Shemer, a new realist actually, asserted that the Ukraine-Russia war is actually to be blamed on West, because Western aggression, Western expansionist policy in terms of NATO is actually creating a security dilemma for Russia, and Russia in turn has reacted in the aggression. And sir, solution to it would be better placed in UN, a General Assembly, where UN actually helps USA and Russia and the other powers as well to sit and then conclude talks on how to resolve the issue and actually to demilitarize the region.
Give your career a boost with CSS PMS preparation from Civil Services Preparatory School. Join CSS PMS for on-campus and online classes. Join us for your bright future. Civil Services Preparatory School, Jeter Markaz, Islamabad. Register now at 0316 570 1593.
What about Brexit? Why did it took place?
Sir, Brexit is given a name to the Britain's exit from European Union. Britain actually thought that they are being overburdened by the European funding that they are giving. The refugee crisis post the Middle Eastern crisis gave impetus to the Brexit. That a lot of refugees from the Middle Eastern region were entering Britain owing to the Schengen policy of the European Union, and then the sovereignty of United Kingdom was actually compromised by decisions being taken at Brussels. So Britain, after a referendum, actually decided to exit the European Union. This was the reason, sir.
Have you read the latest book by Harry and Meghan on the Spare?
Sir.
Any comments on that?
Sir, I haven't read it. Actually, I have just gone through the reviews of it. It is a book written on the life of Prince Harry. It is actually his own biography, and in which he tells about the issues that he felt, issues that he experienced as being a royal person, as his life was not very comfortable. He was not very comfortable living that life, and how he actually, what were the motives behind his leaving his family, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Well, Asim,
Sir.
what did you know about the Thomas Becket, and what was his role in the British history? You're a student of British history.
Sir.
Did you know Thomas? Have you heard the Thomas Becket?
No, sir.
Okay, now can you tell impacts of Normans' invasion in history of England?
Sir, I'm afraid I don't know the answer to this question.
What was the stance of Britain in Congress of Laibach,
Sir, I'm afraid.
in Congress of Aix-la-Chapelle?
Sir, Britain actually
Yeah.
in the Congress of Aix-la-Chapelle emphasized on the concert of Europe. It gave the idea to resolve the disputes by assemblies and by the use of congresses.
Okay, do you see any connection in the Congress of Concert of Europe and establishment of United Nations organization?
Sir, actually, establishment of United Nations as an international organization, as a platform of assembly, was an idea that was conceived by the Concert of Europe. Concert of Europe was an impetus that gave rise to the League of Nations, and then the failure of League of Nations and formation of United Nations.
Okay. Do you have some idea of Indian Council Act 7073?
Sorry, sir, I don't know the answer to it.
Lord Cornwallis Code?
Sorry, sir.
Okay, tell something about Indian Penal Code, 1837.
Sir, I'm afraid I don't know the answer to this question.
Okay, question from Pakistan study.
Sir.
Okay, tell what concluded in Montagu Chelmsford reforms.
Sir, actually, I haven't gone through the compulsories and options by now. I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to this question.
Okay, this is my last question.
Sir.
What is difference between fundamental rights and principles of states policy?
I'm sorry, sir, I don't know the answer to this question.
Thank you.
Your interview is over.
Sir, thank you.
कैसा रहा interview?
It was good, sir.
Good कहते हो?
Sir, it was comfortable.
नहीं, you did very well.
Thank you, sir.
इसमें आप you have very good communication skills. You are clarity of mind, or you are calm and composed, definitely. And one thing which I like is you have your personality trait is emotionally strong.
Sir.
So right are you. नॉलेज गैप है आपका, जैसे पाकिस्तान स्टडीज़ में तो आपको यानी बहुत ही जो है इसमें है, आपका प्रॉब्लम है, इशू है, तो इसको आप कोशिश करें, ठीक है? हम इसको इम्प्रूव करें आप, मेरे ख्याल में ये नॉलेज गैप को जो आप इसको फिलअप करेंगे तो यू कैन फेच बेटर ग्रेड. ठीक है, ऑल द बेस्ट.
You have a very good personality. Your dress up is all right. You have a good confidence. You have a good personality. In the interview, the first minute do spend in introducing yourself. And write a one-pager about yourself. And write what you want to draw the attention of your panelists towards you. Which are your strengths. A soft-hearted is a very, double-edged sword. So if you're saying you're soft-hearted or aapko koi pressure karta hai, and for example, you're in a police service and you get pressurized, then it's a negative trait, which means that not suitable.
Sure, madam.
So when you write, the examiners are going to ask you questions on this paper. What you write here will define the tone of your interview. So Greta Thunberg, she's a young girl, she's making a difference, but there are many more people who have done good contribution to environment. So if you're doing on environment, then people will be asking you questions on environment. Okay? Now, who is Dr. Sarah Gill? We don't know. There should be personalities which are known to everyone and which are non-controversial.
Sure, madam.
Other than that, you're very good. Little bit of effort. शीशे के आगे practice करें, concise रखें. You will do very well. You're a winning horse.
Thank you, madam.
Okay.
आसिम, वेल डन. दो तीन चीज़ें, ड्रेस के बारे में बात हो गई है, तो ट्राई टू वेयर अ टाई पिन ऑल्सो. ठीक है, लुक नाइस. एंड you just secondly, during your answers, at some time you seem lost. ठीक है, so don't get lost. Stay. जो जुमला आपने कहा है ना, आप देखिए आखिरी वर्ड को पकड़ के अगला जुमला कहे, आखिरी वर्ड पकड़ के अगला जुमला कहे, उसमें कोहेरेंस और कंटिन्यूटी लाए. सीधा बैठना है, चेस्ट हाई होनी है. ठीक है ना, you have to look very confident. ठीक है ना, और like you are going to win the show now. आप बैटिंग करने आए, पूरी दुनिया आपको देख रही है, तो आपके एक एक चीज़ को देख रही है कि आप बैट कैसे रहे, हाथ क्या कर रहे हैं. ऑल दिस इज गोइंग टू गेट. कुछ आप नॉलेज बेस्ड सवाल के जवाब देंगे, कुछ अच्छे होंगे, कुछ होंगे, लेकिन द वे यू आर गोइंग टू एड्रेस द क्वेश्चन, दैट इज गोइंग टू बी द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट. कि आपने जवाब कैसे दिया, आपने कितना इम्प्रेस किया, आपने हमें इम्प्रेस करके जाना है. जैसे मुँह दिखाई के वक्त ज़्यादा होता है शादी में या कोई, तो दिस इज एन ओकेजन फॉर यू टू शो दैट यू आर द बेस्ट, यू शुड बी सिलेक्टेड, एंड व्हाई नॉट. सो उसके लिए आप क्या क्या करेंगे? ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट भी नहीं होता, लेकिन बी योरसेल्फ, एंड दैट्स गोइंग टू हेल्प.
वेल आसिम, आपने काफ़ी सारे क्वेश्चंस के आंसर नहीं दिए, फिर भी जो क्वेश्चंस के आंसर आपने दिए वो अच्छे दिए. ब्रिटिश हिस्ट्री बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है, स्पेशली वी वर कॉलोनी ऑफ ब्रिटेन. तो कोड कॉर्नेवालास और इंडियन पेनल कोड जो है, दैट बिकम्स इंडियन पिनल कोड, एज पाकिस्तान पिनल कोड भी बना. उसकी सिग्निफिकेंस, इनफैक्ट इफ आई सी बीइंग अ स्टूडेंट ऑफ हिस्ट्री, तो सब कॉन्टेंट में बहुत बड़ी कंट्रीब्यूशन थी इन मेकिंग ऑफ इंडियन पिनल कोड. और ब्रिटिश हिस्ट्री की ये छोटे छोटे एस्पेक्ट हैं, इनको थोड़ा सा देखिएगा. ये थोड़ा सा जो नॉलेज गैप है, ये कुछ ज़्यादा विजिबल ना हो जाए. इस पे थोड़ा सा नोटबुक बना के इसको देखिएगा. बाकी आपको जो पैनलिस्ट हैं, बॉडी पैनलिस्ट ने आपको सब कुछ एक्सप्लेन कर दिया. जो आपके ग्रे एरियाज हैं उनको आप सुधारने की कोशिश कीजिएगा.
Surely, sir. Thank you, sir.
It's good to see